lead by example. The example is servitude. If you lead by serving another person, they will learn to follow you by serving you. Today's video is focused on leadership. Okay, so this is for my people who are leaders, but they're still trying to get the hang of like what that even means, and how to activate that gift that comes from God. You know, like it's something that's within you that everyone doesn't possess, and for good reason. So to be a good leader, you have to be able to influence a person to follow your lead, right? That's the first thing I want to be very clear. It's following your lead, right? So when you are a leader, God willing, you want people to follow you because you have something that God has assigned you to do. So not for selfish reasons, not just because, narcissistic reasons, but because it's something that God put on your heart and also has given you that tool of leadership, that skill to be able to harness multiple people around you and to lead them to something better for them and for you, ultimately becoming in alignment with what God has for you and for them as well. So servitude. I know. Servitude. I think a lot of leaders can struggle with servitude, myself included. Not because you don't want to help anyone, but sometimes if you're a leader, you kind of know how to do things on your own. And so sometimes the idea of servitude can become hard to demonstrate to other people because you usually do things on your own if you are a leader or if you have leadership qualities within yourself. So there's a few things to understand about what servitude, how servitude is a necessary action and a necessary quality to learn to master within yourself in order to become an effective and amazing leader. So one of the first things that I would say is to understand that when you are learning the art of servitude, it's not always going to be easy, and you're not always going to want to do that, of course. Like you're not always going to want to serve others around you consciously. Like you're not going to always feel the need to want to do that, because it takes a lot to care about yourself, let alone worry about doing something for someone else. So the way that you can start off is by doing it for people you actually like, or people that you love, right? So this could be your spouse, this could be your children, family members, friends, people that you want to serve in your own like community. You know what I mean? Figure out people that you naturally want to serve. So, for example, serving your spouse or serving a family member can be tough sometimes because you're like, you don't want to, you may have resentment towards that person. But if you care about that person, you love that person, and you know that they're going to be around you anyways, if you change your perspective and attitude towards what servitude is, it'll change the energy behind servitude. And so then instead of you being depleted when you serve someone, you're actually going to be getting something back because you understand what that is. You understand what that energy is when you activate servitude, especially as a leader. Find opportunities to serve other people. Find opportunities to serve other people. And this gets tough, right? This is especially if you are called to serve, because you're called to lead as well. It can be tough, but it's important to find those opportunities to serve, because when you find opportunities to serve, this is what you're actually doing in the spirit, with the spirit of God attached to it. Meaning you're not just serving that human, you're serving them because you know God is watching and God knows that you know what you're supposed to do, right? And you want that spirit of God to show through yourself. So when you start to practice that repetition of serving, what you're actually doing, especially to someone who is supposed to follow you, right? You're showing them by example, this is how I would like you to serve me. So if you're a leader, that means you have to take the first step into showing other people how to treat you. It's really that simple. Like I could stop the video there. This is so important because we are in a world of influencers and everyone has a voice, which is a beautiful thing in itself. We lose sight of servitude because servitude seems like makes the other person seem more important than you. In a world of vanity, it makes you feel, it can come across as if you are bowing down to another human. But the leadership qualities of serving someone else It's activated by serving someone, because you're showing a person, you're leading that person to the vision of what you would like them to do for you. And in order to be an effective leader, this always has to happen. Anyone who is in leadership has always had to show why they should be followed. So they either show by actions, or they'll show with gifts, or they'll show with a vision. And so every leader, good or bad, has had to have shown their followers why you should serve me. Now, an effective leader does that, but a good leader, a leader that actually masters the art of leadership, is able to understand, if you want someone to follow you and to be influenced by you, you have to also get to their level and show them why you're worthy to be served or followed, because they need to know you're the type of person who would do the same for them, if not more, right? So there's a safetiness that comes with that. When you serve other people, you're giving yourself that opportunity to show them, this is the type of person I am, and this is how I see you. The way that I would want you to treat me is the way that I would treat you. That is what leadership is. That's when you get people to actually follow what you want them to do. And keep in mind, when you are serving other people on a spiritual level, if you're able to keep yourself humble in that way, you're not going to go down that narcissistic path of, oh, you're supposed to do this because I said to do it, right? Because that happens for leaders too. You start to feel that empowerment and that fire within yourself, but you forget where it came from. You forget that leadership is also a gift from God that can be taken away. And so remember, when you are serving, it reminds yourself subconsciously to be humble, but it's also activating that leadership quality that allows you to lead by example and to show a person that is supposed to follow you how to follow you. Lead by example. The example is servitude. If you lead by serving another person, they will learn to follow you by serving you. It's a constant ebb and flow. It's a constant exchange of energy. And you have to stay, this is a side note, as a leader or someone who has been given the gift of leadership, you have got to stay in the mindset and the spirit of God. You have to lean on the spirit of God, because if you do not, you will eventually turn into a parasite, a vampire, a narcissist, a manipulator. It's so easy. And that's one of the downfalls to having that gift of leadership. You have the ability to make a lot of things happen with humans. Like, humans are made in the image of God. So when you have a lot of people that you can make do whatever you want to do, you're utilizing, and essentially you're trying to become God, which is a no. You're not God. So you have to stay in that servitude mindset of, we are on the same level. We are both made in the image of God. So me serving them is them learning to serve me. And if you're looking at it from a new age perspective, it's that whole reflection thing, you know? It's even that rule that treat others the way that you want to be treated. But it's very true. Like, as a leader, right? When you're finding people that you think are going to help build that vision you have, it's important that you let them know and you show them how valuable that they are to you as a leader. And that goes a long way. It goes a long way. So today, or just any day that you're watching this, try to find opportunities to serve those that are around you. It doesn't even have to be like people that you want to follow you, but find opportunities to serve other people and start to activate that muscle of servitude. When you start to activate that spirit, it takes work. It's not something that everyone can just master. You know what I'm saying? But when you can learn how to do that with that combination of leadership qualities, that's when you're going to start thinking not just about yourself, but outside of yourself. And that's when the building happens. And that's when you'll find other people who have qualities that you need for your vision. And they also have an investment to the vision that you have. And that's where the building comes in. And that's when you meet those people that are destiny helpers, as people like to put it. That's when you meet those people that God has wanted to be in your life, who has placed in your life. That's when you start to become the person that God wants you to be, because you're serving others. And so that energy is going to come back. And there's an activation that happens when you really start to like get that ball moving of servitude. And it's not easy, trust me, especially when you feel like you're casting your pearls to swine, which that's a whole nother video. You don't want to do that. People can see when you're a leader. Like, people can tell when you have like a certain like essence about you that makes people behave or straighten up or want to know what you're about, or something that intrigues them. Like, people can notice it. It's a light, it's a spirit. But the problem is everyone doesn't know how to utilize that to where they don't become like a manipulative spirit. And so again, that's a whole nother thing. Be wise with who you're trying to lead or who you are trying to serve. Like, of course you don't want to serve someone who is just an evil person, or someone who's going to take advantage of you. I mean, Christ himself, like the lessons of servitude that Christ had taught or led by example is a perfect example. There's so many lessons of servitude and how that makes you a good leader. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, even I would even say King David, like, yeah, like I there's so many people in the Bible, or just maybe people around you. Like, you can think about people who you admire, or people that you have been a mentor, or someone that you look up to, and think about how much they've served you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes the difference between someone who just has a big head and then someone who actually has a vision. Like, when you have a vision, you don't want people to just be like fans. You want people who can actually build with you, so you can build that vision. Do you see what I'm saying? Because when God gives you an assignment, it's not about you anymore. It's about what you can do to push that needle further. Is it the needle? Y'all know what I'm saying. To push the line further towards the goal. Like, if it's something that's just for you, if you just feel like you want to be a leader just for the sake of being a leader for yourself, that's how you know you have the qualities of being a leader, but you don't have the spirit of God. You don't have the assignment from God yet. But when you're a person who has leadership qualities, and people notice it, and even if you're not comfortable with it yet, people can see it in you, but you don't really know how to exercise it yet. But you have a vision that will affect other people, and you know you need other people in order to make it happen. That's when you know God has given you an assignment. Where it's going to go, how it's going to evolve, that like no one knows until you learn more as you go, because God will allow you to know more once God sees that you're capable of fulfilling certain things, right? And the same way, if you can't fulfill it, or if you can't master like servitude as a leader, then it can be taken away from you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, being a leader can be taken away from you if you don't understand the art of servitude, because that's one of the first steps to master. Y'all, don't deplete yourself, but show them what it means to be a leader, and what it means to actually care about a person, not just lead them for the sake of having the title, but actually caring about how these people will move. You see what I'm saying? So or how these people will progress with you. If you're gonna want people to come along on the journey with you, show them why they should. Show them what's the benefit of being a part of your vision. It really sounds so simple, but like it makes a huge difference. So yes, y'all, I just thought that I would just give this message to the people who, you know who you are, the people who need to see this. Yeah, that's my message for you today, my love. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.